2, 1, bump it, and cue Sarah. Mike, Sarah.
I know I speak for these three guys when I say it's an absolute honor and pleasure to be UNT students at this time in history.
Fine.
We cannot wait for this
I'm gonna have to
game
roll with the player
later
highlights
this
a lot.
evening. Before we get into previewing this game, I want to talk a little bit about Villanova-Winthrop because, like I mentioned earlier, they were really that was a matchup that a lot of us were unsure about. Some of us picked Winthrop to move forward. What really happened in that game, Jack?
It just started with the three ball. I think they shot 30% from three, and that Villanova does a lot better than that. So I think Winthrop really did a good job handling Villanova's three-point shot. And then another stat was that they had 8 blocks, and a team that has 40 blocks over the whole regular season. So, and Thomas Bell has 32. That's a little sneak peek, but so it's like they're not the best at defending in the paint, but they did a good job against Winthrop.
What do you think, Justin?
Yeah, well, I think it's evident, first of all, that they're still kind of trying to figure things out without Colin Gillespie. He was their leader on and off the floor, and he's pretty much our Javion Hamlet. He's their do-it-all guy, and he's the guy that their offense starts with. So it was evident at some points where they just seemed confused and maybe lost without him. But the thing that they did really well in this game was they played from in front. So it kind of allowed them to figure out the offensive game as they went along throughout the course of this game. And I mentioned Winthrop being a streaky team. Villanova held them to 36% from the field overall in this game, which was really impressive from them. And then Villanova countered with a very balanced attack on offense. Jeremiah Robinson-Earl led the way. He had a double-double, 22 points. He's going to be the big man that we're going to have to go against. He's kind of like their Travion Williams. Thomas Bell is going to have his work cut out for him. He's a 6'9" guy, similar to Travion Williams, 6'10" last week.
All right, so, ready to roll highlights?
That's going to be one of the matchups here that I'm looking for. They had four starters in double digits in that game, along with 15 bench points. So the Villanova offense is really about balance and efficiency, much like UNT's is going to have to be to win this game.
So you mentioned a couple key players for this game moving forward. Who do you think is going to be the most important piece for UNT?
I think it's going to be Thomas Bell. Their leading scorer is Jeremiah Robinson.
Roll Thomas Bell highlights.
Pretty much all of his points.
Thomas Bell highlights in.
Kind of reminds me of Travion Williams.
We're going to come out
in a lot of ways. He's primarily a post player. He's going to spend all of his time in the post, and he's a physical rebounder. So Thomas Bell, once again, our best defensive player, is going to be going against their best offensive player. And a guard that I'm looking for Villanova to maybe have a big game is Justin Moore.
Go to Justin Moore.
He's going to have to handle a lot of the weight now without Colin Gillespie in, and he's been doing a really nice job
Justin Moore.
Of picking up some of the weight scoring-wise without Gillespie.
Now you mentioned Thomas Bell. I want to give credit to
Go back
Jack.
to Thomas Bell.
Jack was talking about Thomas Bell, a few weeks ago, and how important he is to this team and what a dream he is to have on the team. Jack, you want to follow that up with anything?
Yeah, I just think him being able to shoot a three ball and his defense is just he's so efficient, and it's just something that you have to have. And I'm pretty sure every college would want them on their team. But to pull up my key player, I think McBride's got to get you those three balls tonight.
Great job.
At least 2 or 3. So I think if you have McBride on,
McBride.
it's going to get a good chance of UNT pulling this one out.
And I like that because this is a totally different offense when McBride and when James Reese are on their game.
Go to James Reese.
Because when Javion Hamlet drives to the lane, if those guys aren't on fire, the guards can just focus in on Javion Hamlet. So when these guys are firing well from the outside, it totally opens up everything else that this offense has in store. So that's an important player, Dres McBride, coming into this game for sure.
What do you think, Connor?
Well, kind of like what Hank said, I'm looking for Zachary Simmons.
Zach Simmons?
Pretty big game. I'm going to anticipate Villanova to anticipate to come out and make sure that the guards don't beat you for UNT. So I'm looking at around the lower post for us to have a big game.
Lisa.
And I don't know why, but I've got this feeling that Zach Simmons is just going to go on tonight. I just got this feeling he's the most experienced player on our roster. I just got this feeling he's scoring in the double digits, and he's going to be the player of the game.
I'm writing it down right now, Connor. Zach Simmons, player of the game. We will remember it. If it's accurate, we will give you full credit. But, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about Javion Hamlet a little bit.
Hamlet?
What does Javion Hamlet need to do to carry this team to a win?
How about shoot some more floaters? He's first in the country. We saw the statistic.
Roll Hamlet.
He makes like in the high 80s or low 90s with floaters. That's insane. And what we see today, it feels like today's basketball is either a three-pointer or a layup or dunk. There's no in-between game. That's what separates Javion Hamlet from most guards, college or in the NBA. He has that mid-range game, and that's what really frustrates a defense, because if you play man against him, he can come around you, get a layup. If you play zone against him, he's going to attack the middle of the floor and shoot that 10, 12, 15-foot mid-range jump shot. So I like what Hamlet brings, and I like what UNT has done the last couple of games, utilizing their guard play.
Miss a chance.
Couple of 49er defenders getting in there, and that wasn't a designed screenplay at all. Ani was just trying to create something because he had gotten pushed way out of his comfort zone.
Third straight miss by Awning. 2nd and 10. Torrey, the running back, to his left. Fake to him and floats one deep for Darden up the left sideline, and a diving grab is made inside the 35-yard line by Jalen Darden. A full layout, all 5'9" of them. And with the dive, he has 37 spectacular yards.
And that's why he's dynamic. He lays out. The others can learn.
At the 38, quick toss, play fake, throw over the middle. Darden makes this catch at the 30 and a pickup of 8 more.
And he has now moved into 4th all-time in career receptions with still a large body of work left as long as the games can continue to be played.
Well, offense needing a big play, and there it is. Give up the middle for Torrey, breaks tackles, and now knocks straight back, but he has the first down at the 27.
Those were the kind of efforts that Ani needed out of his receivers early last week, and Darden shows how to get it done going back to that play 2 plays ago.
There were a couple of attempted layouts that came up empty. Play fake, rolling right, and Ani throws on the run and caught for another first down by Deontay Simpson at the 13-yard line. Grabs it on his knees, good for 13 more yards, and they'll move the chains.
Torrey missed his block, but Ani didn't worry about it.
Quick snap, 3:18 remaining. Handoff, starting left, veering inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line is DeAndre Torrey, the pickup of 6.
Deep into the Paycom red zone now, the Mean Green knowing they need to find pay dirt here and tie this ball game up.
And timeout with an injured 49er defender, and it's their junior defensive end, Marquise Watts, taking a seat at the 3-yard line. Watts preseason all-conference, 9.5 sacks last year as a sophomore from Lancaster, South Carolina. 2 of those sacks, including a strip sack on the final play of the game, with Mason Fine trying to pull off a miracle.
Never want to see one of your teammates go down, but the only benefit to that for Charlotte was the fact it slowed down a Mean Green offense that was really in a nice rhythm.
Watts help to his feet, will walk off without any help at all. So both coaches squeeze in a little break. 2:59 first quarter. Mean Green trying to tie it. Down 7-0. They've reached 2nd down and 4 to Charlotte 7. He's thrown for 109 yards now on 6 out of 10. 86 of those yards on 4 Jalen Darden catches. Where the senior stepping up week in, week out. Goes wide right inside of Simpson. Siggers, the running back, 7th play of this drive. 2nd and 4. Siggers plunging up the middle to the 5. Tumbles down, they say just outside the 5. And short of the first, and it'll be a 3rd down and call it 2.
Like the turf monster may have gotten Trey at the beginning of that submarine attempt up the middle.
First time they've had a 3rd down opportunity on this drive. 2.5 minutes and counting in the first. 2 wide right. Handoff to Siggers and piled up at the line of scrimmage. Tries to fall forward as near to the marker as he can get, and he comes up short by 1 at the 4-yard line. So 2 plunges up the middle by Trey Siggers come up short. And Seth Luttrell does not send the field goal unit on 4th down and 1 at the 4.
Tyler Murray, the former Troy Trojan, stymied the previous play.
Power formation under center. Ani ready to take the snap, or is he? And now timeout call. Rodney Burnett has yet to signal who called it. Or for that matter, flip on his microphone. But it is apparent that Charlotte has called a timeout to discuss 4th and 1. Now they've had to look at one look, which was Ani under center. And when was the last time, if ever, we saw a Seth Luttrell quarterback line up anywhere but the shotgun? That's how that play originally looked, with 2 tight ends, 1 wide, and Siggers the running back. That never happened, according to Blake Jones of the Argyle Eagle radio network. He never did it as an Argyle Eagle. So we'll see if he does it again. 1 wide out was Simpson. Started to go wide right, now back into a huddle. And at 53 to go on the first. Same look on 4th and 1 from the 4. And on he turns, gives to Siggers, plunges forward. It's going to be all about the mark, and I think he comes up short, although we'll see where they unpile it. Charlotte defenders racing off in celebration. They are convinced they have stopped Siggers for no gain at the 4, and that's where they put him down.
Well, they started to sell it, didn't they? I mean, they ran to their sidelines to say it's a no-brainer. I thought it was a much closer call, but a big stop by the Charlotte 49ers.
Miller, quick pass. Dalen Thornton. Getting a few there. It's going to result in the 4th down. So Miller, pump fake, rolling out to the left. Pass complete to Thornton again. Been a heavy target today so far. That'll move the chains. Jalen Miller really good, moving his feet in the pocket, being able to scramble. Handoff up the middle. Austin Welch. It's a gain of 6. It's a 2nd and 4. Miller going on the back shoulder on the right side, and an unbelievable catch. Derek Anderson. What a sweet throw by Jalen Miller, going on the outside shoulder. Derek Anderson, excuse me, having to dive back for that one. Comes down. Oh no, they're going to say that it was incomplete. So it will be 3rd down. Jalen Miller. It was a good attempt. Jalen Miller hands it off to Austin Welch. Now we'll have 4th down.
Timeout. JSC 1.